for saying you've had your one training session so far. So how was that? How's the kind of settling in process, I guess?
Yeah, good. Really, really good. I felt very welcomed straight away, which is nice. Now, obviously, I'm only in the door, but it'll probably take me a couple of sessions to get to know the lads a little bit more and get to know the way we want to play and our principles and stuff. But yeah, from a start perspective, it's been really good.
Tell us about your kind of recent Republic of Ireland experiences. How important was it for you to get some game time?
Yeah, really, really good. I suppose the most important thing about international windows, especially competitive games, is winning. And obviously we had a good camp. We had 2 wins out of 2, which is great. A really good start to the group. And I always enjoy going away with my country, representing my country. It's a real honour. So, from my perspective, a personal perspective, yeah, I thought I done well in the games, and it was nice to get some minutes. But yeah, like I said, the most important thing was the 2 wins. So from that point of view, I'm really, really happy.
How late did the move come about? Were you in the Ireland camp when it first really came out?
Yeah, I had sort of heard, I know the transfer window ended on a Monday, and I had heard just the day before that there was interest there, which was sort of eye-opening for me, and it caught me eye straight away. And then I sort of found out on deadline day that everything was getting sorted. So from that point of view, I was obviously really, really happy, and like I said, it's a really good club. So once I heard there was interest there, I felt it was a no-brainer for me to come here.
I guess it must have been an interesting position for you, because you did get as far as being on the bench for Bristol City at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think that experience will definitely help me. Obviously, I've been probably limited, which is completely fair. The midfield at Bristol City is really, really competitive. So once I kind of got confirmation that my opportunities this year would be a bit limited, I felt that it was important that I push to try and play, whether it be at Bristol City. But obviously, like I said, with them opportunities being limited, I felt going out and on was the best option for me. And yeah, I'm really happy that I'm here now.
So take you back to your kind of starting in Ireland. Just tell us about kind of breaking through into senior football there.
Yeah, so obviously I played for St Patrick's Athletic. Obviously won 2 cups there, which was, from that perspective, really good. And I made my debut when I was about 16. So from being involved in the first team for a long time when I was young, it kind of just made me eager going across the water then to keep pushing on. And once that didn't really happen for me, so like I said, this year it was important for me to get back out and play, and hopefully here I can do that. I feel like I can really help the team, and obviously they've had a really good start, so it'll be really good for me to get involved.
And you've gotten some good experiences, cup finals, a little bit of European football as well.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose that's a real huge positive about the League of Ireland, is that 4 teams can go into the European stages, which is great, and that gave me a little bit of experience in that front. And yeah, as far as cup goes, obviously, like I said, I've got 2 cup medals under my name, and yeah, I'm really happy from that point of view. And I think since I've gotten that little bit of taste of success, I've kind of want to keep pushing on with it and keep, trying to try for more. And I feel like here we've definitely started really well, and if we can keep pushing on, who knows, come the end of the season where we'll be. So I think for me it's just about trying to keep winning games, keep being important to those winning games, and doing my best to put 3 points on the board.
How much does having sort of had that decent run of men's football make you feel confident about the loan compared to perhaps sort of coming out from under 23s, where it is a different animal, really? Yeah,
I think obviously having that experience will obviously be a positive for me. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been involved in first team football, but from having it so young, you never really get lost in that sense. You always kind of have it in the back of your mind. And obviously I was in the senior dressing room from the age of 15, so I think that probably put a bit of hair on my chest early, which is nice. But yeah, like I said, I just want to keep continuing to progress, and I feel like here I can really do that, and I can really bring my attributes to the team.
What is the sort of biggest challenges of coming over from Ireland at a relatively young age and trying to make it as a professional here?
I suppose everyone is probably different in that sense. I think for me, obviously the jump is quite big, but I didn't think it was one I wasn't capable of making. I suppose the biggest thing for me was probably the off the pitch stuff. I was a mammy's boy growing up, so what I was going to be like when I was living on my own and cooking for myself and all, I didn't really know. But in fairness, I settled quite quickly, and in fairness to the lads at Bristol City, they really helped me. So I think making that jump was a lot easier once I'd kind of just bit the bullet and done it, rather than fearing it, I suppose. So, yeah, in that sense, you know, I feel like I've matured. Yeah.
I guess it's always a difficult decision, but how do you try and describe yourself as a player? What do you see as your attributes and abilities?
Yeah, I think I bring a lot of energy to the team, both on the ball and off the ball. I enjoy both sides of the game. You know, I'm very conscious of, in today's age, how important numbers are in your game in terms of goals and assists. So I'm always working on that and trying to improve in that sense. But like I said, I enjoy the defending side of it and down the nitty gritty that some people mightn't be prepared to do. So I think from a fan's perspective, you can expect a bit of everything from me. I'll put myself around the park, and I'll always put my team first, regardless of where I'm coming from. So I think that's definitely what they can expect from me.
And the manager's talked about you kind of coming across as quite focused already. I know all professional sportsmen are competitive, but by instinct, are you super competitive? Are you someone who like hates losing chess or anything like that?
I'm just really, really hungry. I'm hungry to do well here. You know, I wouldn't sugarcoat it. Obviously, it's a personally very important year for myself. But like I said, I'll always put the team first, no matter where I am. And I think you'll be able to see that in my training standards and my game standards and stuff. And you know, I'll never let anyone question my work ethic. So from that sense, I'm just hungry to do well, and I feel like here, you know, we've a really good chance of doing well this year.
I guess the counter side to that is when the team is doing well, you may have to have a bit of patience to wait for your opportunity. Yeah,
definitely, and the squad's really competitive, which is really, really good. You know, you always want that little bit of healthy competition, and I'm fully aware that the players in the middle are really, really good here. So, you know, by no means will it be easy, but I think from me coming in and trying to push the boys who have obviously started really well will only be a good thing. It'll drive training standards, and at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. We're here to win. We're here to, you know, try and get Swindon Town back to where it belongs, back in League One, and yeah, I think this year we can definitely do that.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Good. So you've been here a day. What are your early impressions of Ian Holloway as a manager?
Yeah, he seems really good, really, really good. He was very, very welcoming when I first walked in, to both myself and Jamie, and you know, that definitely helps, because obviously I've never met him before, but obviously you see him online quite a lot, and he's a really big character. But I feel like he's someone that I can definitely bounce off, and I feel like he can definitely get the best out of me, which I'm excited to hopefully see.
Did you speak too much before the move was actually complete?
No, not really. I spoke to Gavin Gunning quite a lot, which was good. It was kind of nice to have a familiar voice going in the door, I suppose, familiar face as well. So it was good in that sense. But obviously meeting the gaffer yesterday was my first time.
Do you think it helps you much having Jamie here as well? As kind of two guys who I presume you know each other fairly well.
Yeah, I suppose we're about in a similar position where, like I said, the opportunities will be limited at Bristol City, but the two of us are really, really competitive, and we really want to do well here. And obviously having them coming in yesterday with myself was a little bit easier. You know, going in your first day, it can be a little bit tough, so to have him there was nice. And yeah, I feel like we can definitely both add to the squad.
Do you think having played so young at St Pat's and also played up age groups as well when you were younger, that kind of helps you moving into a new dressing room? Maybe you're used to that already.
Yeah, I think you know, I remember having a conversation with my mum actually a couple of days ago, and I told her that, because obviously I've done it before, that I didn't really feel too much pressure. A little bit of nerves weren't there this time, which was nice. Now obviously naturally you'll be a little bit anxious going into the building, but you know, I definitely wasn't as bad as when I first came over, which was good. And yeah, I do feel like I've matured since coming over, which is nice. And I definitely put a lot of that down to the fact that I was involved in the first team from so young, and involved in a men's environment, a competitive environment.
How have you found being over in England, being away from the family more so than you would have been before?
Different, definitely, but good in a sense. You know, obviously I would miss my family and my friends quite a lot, but I feel like over here the opportunities are so great that sometimes you do have to make them sacrifices, which some people aren't prepared to make. And for me, I obviously have high ambitions in what I want to do with my career, and sort of how far I want to go. And I feel like over here is the next step for me. And right now it's Swindon, which, like I said, I'm really excited to get going with. And yeah, hopefully we can have a really good year.